Okay, so I am about to attempt to take off the lines that I drew, or like the outlines that I drew for a couple of elements I added last night. I added this plane and I added Mount Rushmore down here. Now, Mount Rushmore, I'm not too terribly concerned about. I think that's gonna probably look pretty good once I get the outline off of there. It looks a little messy right now, but I think it'll look way better once it's cleaned up, because you can't really tell, but there is like black outline under that paint, and so I need to get that removed. The one that I'm really nervous about is this. I know it doesn't really look like much right now, and again, looks very messy because I have like a messy sketch of an outline behind it, but I attempted my best effort to make it like reminiscent of a Blue Angels airplane. So it's got like the US Navy written under the underside of the wing. Obviously I'm not using yellow, I'm just using blue and red, so everything that would be normally yellow on the plane is red. Hopefully that's okay to do. I don't know, but anyway, we're gonna look and see what it looks like once we get that all removed. I'm a little bit nervous about the plane because, like I said, I attempted to do some like writing on the underside of the wing, and I want it to like hopefully look good. But moment of truth will be when I turn this over and see. As you can see, looks really messy right now. You can't really see the paint, but you can see like where my design was. And then the same for Mount Rushmore, like it a little bit messy, but maybe once we get the black off, we'll see how good or bad it really is. Okay. Ooh. I have this little piece of tape here to help me like pull this off because it gets suction cupped to the table sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to use just normal rubbing alcohol and a microfiber towel. This is just a permanent marker. I use permanent marker because I wanted it to stay, but then once you're done with it, you can just use rubbing alcohol and it comes right off. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Mount Rushmore because I'm not scared about Mount Rushmore. So we're going to do what's not scary first. I think Mount Rushmore is going to look okay. So we're just going to start rubbing and see how it like takes off. You can see what's left then is the paint. And the lighting in here is kind of terrible, but maybe you can tell that it's blue. It's kind of dark, but I promise it's really blue. And then that, ladies and gentlemen, is my rendition of Mount Rushmore. Not too shabby. Pretty cute, I think. Kind of cool. All right. Now we're going to try for this. And hopefully we're going to end up with something reminiscent and in honor of, I would say, the Blue Angels airplanes. Kind of a moment of truth here. Oh no, taking off my number. I really need to get my number painted on. I just haven't decided how I want to do it exactly. I know I want it to be in about that area and that style. Just haven't 100% decided on how exactly. All right. As you can see, I got a little bit of filling in to do. It's one of the hard things with the marker behind it. It was hard to tell where I had and hadn't been. Gosh, I wish I had better lighting in here that you guys could see this better. It's almost, if I cover up the light, it's almost better. But as you can see, got the US Navy, and I'm just gonna I'll just take my paints and fill in those places that are white right now. They're just white because they're not fully painted. So I think once they're fully painted in, they won't actually look too bad. Not quite as cool as like the actual plane, obviously. But I think it gets the job done. I like it. I think that's pretty cool. All right, and so that's that. So those are the two things that I added last night. We'll keep adding things on. Normally I don't do this much, especially this much, planning ahead and like doing the designs ahead of time. Usually these things I do more just as we go, but those things especially I felt like needed to have, I couldn't just freehand this, you know, I couldn't just freehand Mount Rushmore, because that's something you got to have that looks the way that it looks, otherwise you're not going to get what you needed to, you know. So here it is so far in all of its glory. Added the Liberty the other day. As I was doing it, I kept having the Liberty insurance song. Liberty, 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 liberty. Stuck in my head. All right, and there's the plane that I just added. Obviously, we'll get it fixed up and looking a little better, but I think it looks pretty good. I was trying to use the red as a little bit of like a shadow, kind of give it some dimension, and I think that worked pretty good. I think I like it. It's pretty awesome. I think we'll keep it. I was thinking I might scrape it off if I didn't like it, but anyway, that's what we've got so far. Thanks for joining me on the reveal, and come back and see what gets added next time. Bye!